Yes, lovely people, Dwayne, Nathan, Jack. Yes, I'm back, and this time we're gonna be exploring the world of all possibilities. That's right, yes, that's right, you are a creator just like me. We are all creators in this world of possibilities. However, if we're not conscious, then we're only operating off of the unconscious program, and we're not able to be the directors and creators of our circumstances and situations, because we fall short and become victims of our external, because we're taking in information that's affecting us and that is dictating our internal. But when we become conscious, it's an inside job, and that's what creates our world of all possibilities. So, what am I going to share with you regarding how you can create anything you believe you can achieve? With faith, you can move mountains. So, how did I get into prison and contracts and get keys, walking around the prison that I was once a prisoner to, walking around, going to meetings, serving the prisoners, and gaining insights and wisdom, and building a team, a curriculum of mentors, and empowering Her Majesty's prisons. When I had a criminal record as long as my sleeve, I had been in and out of prison from the age of 13 to 29 years old. And I had only been out of prison about 2 years. So from 13 to 29 years old, I was in and out of prison, menace of society, could not be trusted. They locked me up. And even when I left prison in 2014, I was on MAPA. That's for high-risk prisoners. So I was in a hostel, had to sign on every 3 hours. And then 2 years later, I'm walking around a prison with keys and access to National Offender Management System. Yeah, so I could go on NOMS, yeah, and type in Charles Bronson. I could type in anyone, and I would be able to get up all the information about them. How was I able to get access to such sensitive material? How was I able to have keys to a prison and walk through a prison and into areas and have access to such high security within the UK? I want you to digest this for a minute. Let's just take this slow, because I really want you to digest it, gain an understanding to where this is leading to when we come out. Because the video is all about value. It's all about giving you an understanding of how powerful you are. And I'm just demonstrating through my personal experiences. That's it. It's not me talking about me to glamorize, to boast, or to glorify, because it's all glory to God, by the way. It needs to be shared, not just locally, but globally, because I don't think there's anyone in the whole of the UK that's been able to do what I've done. And it's due to a few faculties and fundamental qualities, and obviously, like I said, the foundation of it is God, and then it was me implementing certain beliefs, faith, and then certain mindset and attitudes and structures to make it actually happen. So, how did I get keys to Her Majesty's prison after being a prisoner for almost 17 years, in and out, high risk? How did I get out of prison in 2014, 2016, I was back in jail and getting contracts with the Ministry of Justice? Well, this is how. I was walking a walk where I was able to have a spiritual awakening within my prison cell. When I had that spiritual awakening in my prison cell, I became fully conscious. And when I become fully conscious, it's like an actualization. Yeah, do you know Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Yeah, it's got security, safety, I think belonging, acceptance, meaning, purpose, love, etc. So I believe I hit the top, and that was through suffering. But my basic needs were met at the time in prison: security, safety, food, warmth, shelter. And I had a spiritual awakening. When I had that spiritual awakening, I started being myself. I wasn't being the character that I had become because that wasn't serving me anymore. I became a character that I couldn't stand myself, society couldn't stand me, family couldn't stand me. So it had to go. So I had to create a new me. So through that spiritual awakening, where God had done some internal work on me, probation said, "What are you going to do when you get out, Dwayne?" I said, "I'm going to get a job." He said, "What if you don't get a job?" I said, "I will create a job." Approved premises, I got released. I was working as labouring, and then went on to another job, banker's butler, for 2 years. Long story short of it, I leaped into the unknown. That's for another video about leaps of faith. And I was searching for work. I leaped into the unknown. I left that job because I'd done 2 years being the butler, and I knew I had my plan, my goal. What I wanted to do was serve people. I got into a children's home senior position. I'm sitting there with the keys. All the kids are in bed, and I'm on prison license. How do you do that? Dwayne Nathan Jack, the I am way. There's a formula to tap into that greatness where you eliminate the logical, what you've been told, what you've learned from school, A, B, and C, and then you're able to tap into the powers to start creating, and life will start unfolding for you and through you. So I'm in a children's home, senior position. I'm still on prison license. Anyway, long story short, 2 years of being out of prison, bam, into the prison. And now, how did I get into the prison? Just like that? No. What happened was I went into the secure unit, Vinnie Green, Bristol, and we delivered a workshop, me and Mel, my wife. And when we delivered the workshop, we were driving out of, I think it was Bristol, that's where Vinnie Green is. As we're driving out, there was a road, and it was called Feltham. I stopped the car, look. Feltham. Like, wow. Went home, that same night I was looking on Google, Feltham, and it showed Feltham site, the outlays, A, B, and C. I went to sleep that night. And when I went to sleep that night, I woke up the next day and there was jobs. Indeed, it popped up on my phone, Feltham. So I applied. I think it was like a drug worker. I applied. That same day I walked down to the youth centre. So obviously I used to do work there for the young people, etc. And the woman there, Zara, God rest her soul, she's dead now, said there's another position for kinetic youth work. So now I've got 2 applications going. I went to go the day before the interview. I got an email saying it's been cancelled, the role's gone. It's been internal A, B, and C. So the next one that the lady mentioned, Zara, at the youth centre, was still ongoing. I went to the hotel, they was interviewing, they was doing some group activities to see who shined the most. Long story short, I had my interview. They said, you can wait behind once we've interviewed everyone else to let you know who's got the job. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna wait for the prize. Yeah? So as I'm there, they're still interviewing, I'm in the outside. I'm meditating, I'm sending signals, because we are transmitters and receivers. I'm sending, transmitting energy through. I knew the job was mine anyway, because I was made for that. I spoke the language. Long story short of it, they come out, they made a decision, and they shared that I had the job. So now I've got into Feltham Young Offenders. I was waiting for the checks to come through. they've done it because of my experience. And then I had the children's home where I'd been in the children's home working, etc. They let me in. Now I'm a youth worker. I've got a red top on. I'm walking around Feltham young offenders with keys. I'm going into the room with a psychologist and that. That's where my office was based, with the psychologists and psychiatrists. So I'm in there. There's all these ladies, and then I'm on the keyboard. I'm like feeling really insecure. Not insecure because I knew I didn't even have no insecurities at the time, because I just didn't. There's just something that was just took over. But anyway, long story short of it, back to the script, Dwayne. I'll be like, and then they'll be like, there's one of the social workers, I forgot her name now. Yeah, she would be like, there's me, you're going. Anyway, so now I've got access to National Offenders Management System. I'm there collecting, putting on obviously my write-ups for when I'm having sessions. I'm working with some of the UK's youngest murderers, violent offenders, yeah, and I'm there and I'm getting loads of data. They're telling me obviously their childhood trauma, dad not there, or mum's boyfriend, beaten, A, B, and C, and it was like, wow, it was like me listening to myself, yeah. So all these young boys in Feltham coming through north, west, south, east London, all the high profile cases that are on the news with acid attacks, with this, with guns, with this. Now I'm there working with them. I'm cutting their hair, I'm in the group, I'm doing this, that, and the other. But then I never went in there to do youth work, play games for Kinetic in the classroom. I went to do military work. And when I went in there to do military work, I'm talking about interventions. But I said to Lucy from education, I'm going to hand my notice in because I want to do my thing. I've done my networking now. She was all like, no, don't do that, Dwayne. You ain't got enough to fall back. Nah, you don't do that. I said, Lucy, I live by faith, not by sight, being sure of what I hope for and certain of what I do not see yet. Handed my notice in. 3 days later, I see Glenn Knight, #1 governor, like an eagle, in the gym. Because governors train over lunch while the prisoners behind the door. So now, I've gone up, he said, yeah, come in and do a presentation. I went in, done a presentation, and boom, got the contracts. Then I built the team, curriculum, OCN London, and now my company, we've got black tops with road light. The company that employed me into the prison and got me into the prison is still there. I've become their competitors. And basically, I'm there with my team. We're taking 6 figures from MOJ, Ministry of Justice, and we're changing lives. And wow, that's how I got into the prison. However, I didn't give you the tools. I didn't tell you what I was doing on a day-to-day basis and night to night, because that is in the road light way. The I am way is how I managed to get in there. I had to use my mind, I had to use my heart, brain coherence, and create this through my imagination, and then all that I just shared with you come to part. But I first had to do the inside job, because it's the inside work that I done, the tools, the strategies, that then the outside then just unformed for me, and the opportunities and A, B, and C came. So what I'm getting at, people, that's how I got into the prison, was doing the work, doing the inside work. And that inside work is in the I am way. It's certain structures, it's certain tools and strategies that you do daily, midday, nighttime, and you embody your desire, your dream. And how a prisoner for almost 17 years, a problem to society, a menace, not just myself, but from like my mum, A, B, and C, grew up in a deprived area, a risk factor actually get keys to the prison, sitting in the boardroom with the governors, even counseling the governors, mentoring the governors, doing workshops with hundreds of officers, working with the young people, and being an asset to Her Majesty's prisons. And then I even got keys to my local prison, yeah? And then I'm walking onto the landings and I'm seeing people, codees that I used to do crime with. Let me say that again. For those that know, they know. For those they don't know, I've got keys walking around my local man's prison that I spent a majority of the time in, and now I'm walking around the prison with keys and I'm seeing all the people that I used to do crime with take drugs, do crime, sell drugs, and even in that prison sell drugs, mobile phones, A, B, and C. Let me tell you a quick one on that. When we were doing the training, me and my wife, we had like the mask on because it was COVID time. And the security guy that was doing the training said, "Oh, has anyone got a wallet?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll give him my wallet." So he said, "Don't leave loose things, leave them in the car, because look, you say you've got your wallet drops out. Look, driving license, Dwayne Jack." We used to have a notorious guy that used to come into to the prison called Dwayne Jack. You need to be careful you don't get mixed up with him. And I got the mask on. I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm trying to hold it down now. I didn't even blow myself up because you got all professionals from like NHS, from all the different like areas of work that are going through the training at the same time, and I'm there like that. This is what you call real manifestations. This is what you call real inner work, embodying that you can do anything that you want if you believe you can achieve. And I wanted to get in there. I got in there by implementing the tools and strategies that I will share with you on another video, using my mind, using my heart, and embodying and creating the vibrational frequency that enabled me to create that within my reality. So, lovely people, that's just some insights of how I managed to get into the prison. Yes, I sat in the car park. Before I got in there, I closed my eyes, I meditated, and how I done that meditation, I actually felt someone showing me around Feltham. I know the infrastructure. The light was coming through the bars. He was showing me around. And this is all in my imagination. I'm sitting outside the prison. Yes, I am in the car, but I'm meditating before I got in there, got the keys. And then I drove home, but now I'm driving home physically. And I'm imagining driving home from work. Then when I got home every night, I went to bed, I created the feeling. I embodied it, my cells within my body. I created a feeling every morning, every night before I went to sleep. As soon as I got up, the first thing, and then midday, 12:15, same time. That's the time I used to meditate in the prison. 12:12, lunchtime. Hit that vibrational frequency as if it already is. Feel your dream, taste and touch it. And through those 3 times, creating that frequency, bam. And that is the language that comes out from your heart to the universal ocean, and the universal ocean will provide you with that circumstance and situations if you are continually, frequently creating that vibrational frequency. Are you with me? Give me an A in the comments. However, there's a lifestyle that comes with that. So you have to become powerful. Your frequency, your transmitter and receiver needs to be powerful, and that will determine your lifestyle. But that's for another video. That's your lot now. Anyway, lovely people, I hope you're well. I hope you got a lot from the video, and I just want you to know personally, you are special, you're unique, you're talented, you're gifted, and you are a star wrapped in skin.